All right, guys, here are some notes to kind of help you out. Simple interest notes, if you want to print these out, at the top right, you see these three dots. If you click on those three dots, you slide down. Here is an option to print it. You can even print the pages. And on any of the pages we send, or I send out, you can go ahead and print them, and you would just press print. I'm not going to print anything now because I don't need to print it. You could also write on here on the different assignments that we give you. You can go ahead and fill these in. But for this, if you scroll down to the bottom, I have already given you the answers. This isn't so much about trying to figure this out. This is more so much about practicing. If you want to practice, you could work them out on these pages, or you could practice them on your calculator, and it would be the answers are right here. I want you to be able to understand what this means, the formula. If you look at the top, it says formula, I equals PRT. You must memorize this, right? This is a simple interest formula, okay? How do you memorize it? I think of it as I party. Interest equals P, principal, times R, rate, times the time. Okay, so the interest is the amount of money that you're either going to pay or that you're going to earn. Okay, and the way we figure that out is by multiplying these three numbers. So this week I'm going to give you problems that if you go on the other pages, there's an assignment where I've answered one for you and you have three more to do. You got to figure out by multiplying the three numbers. P is the principal. That's the amount of money that you're either going to invest or that you're going to borrow. It's the beginning amount. It's the initial amount. You might hear me say the word initial, or you might hear me say the word principal. It just means the beginning money. Whatever you either borrow, like if you borrow $5,000 from the bank, that's your principal. Or you put $5,000 into the bank right at the beginning, that's your principal. It's the same word, whether you're borrowing or you're putting money there. You're investing or you're borrowing. You're going to multiply that with the R, which is the rate. And in this case, on these problems, it shows you how to go from percent to a decimal. But you won't need that because I have sent you on my other video, I sent you a link onto our Desmos calculator. You could also use your calculator from your phone, or you could always have a calculator on hand. Okay, but and if you just have that one, it's going to be the number with the percent sign, and it makes it a whole lot easier if you use a scientific calculator. And then T is time. We talked about it, how time must be written in years. For these first few problems, I'm not going to be having some with months. But if I do give you a problem, or when I do give you a problem and it says the word months, to convert it to years, you must divide by 12. And let me just go through some of these practices. Once again, these are just practices for you. This isn't actually work that I'm going to grade. This is more so you can get used to going through these problems quicker, to start learning the formula and start learning all the little tricks. But anyway, if we wanted to go actually just by hand, and we wanted to make this 5% into a decimal, there's an imaginary decimal behind the 5. We have to move over 2 places. So 5% would be 0.05. 2%, you move over 2 spaces to the left, 0.02. All these, and I put it right there, it's to the left, 2 places to the left. Wherever the decimal is, you just go 2 places to the left. And if there is no decimal, it's an imaginary decimal, or there is a decimal that you just can't see, and you start it at the end of the number, such as this number 20. There's a decimal. The decimal would actually be behind the 0, 1, 2, to make it now 0.20. Okay? And if you want to practice some of those, once again, you can practice. If you want to print these out, fill it out on your own to go ahead and do that, that's fine. And if you want to go ahead and do it and then just send me a picture of it that you showed, or you can actually just write into this page itself. You can go ahead and do that. You don't have to actually print it. You can actually just write using your finger onto the actual paper. Okay? And right here at the bottom, example 2, how to convert months into years. Like I said, for right now, the first 3 problems I gave you this week, they're in years. But if I give you a problem that says months, whatever months it says, you must divide that number by 12. Okay? So for instance, this one says 6 months. I have to get that 6 and divide it by 12. So what's good? There's my Desmos calculator. I just always have it open. You can always have it open once you download. Once you click the link that I sent on my other video, or you can go to desmos.com and it'll have it right there. Okay, but 6 divided by 12. Notice it gives me the answer right there, 0.5. That's what it said a while ago. Right? Let's try 24 months. 24 divided by 12. 2. There's the answer. And the last one, 9 months. 9 divided by 12. 0.75. And that's how you get those. Okay, so that's if you want to, like I said, you want to go ahead and practice those, you can go ahead and practice those. And if you want to fill it in straight here, you can fill it in straight right here. Or you can go ahead and print it out using those 3 dots at the top. Now let's actually try, what does this mean as a problem? I'm going to go through one of these. I won't go through the whole part, but this is example number 3. Once again, the numbers that I give you, you're just going to multiply. To get simple interest, you just multiply the 3 numbers. Find the simple interest for a loan of $500. That's called your principal at 6.5%. The one with the percent sign is called your rate at an interest rate of 3 years. It even tells you the years. That one is time. Principal, 500, times rate of 6.5% times 3 years. You're just going to get those 3 numbers, 500 times 6.5% times 3. And you can use your Desmos calculator. Notice I just went from that to this. That's why I have it open. In case I'm like, I forgot what number it is. So I just go here, 500 times, let's say I forgot my number, 6.5%. 6.5%. With my years 3, I don't have to put times 3. I'm just going to put 3. And it gives me my number. Let's try it again. 500 times 6.5%. 3. Notice how it said 6.5% of. I didn't press of. I just pressed a percent. And it just says of. And all you do is just type in whatever number of years, you can type that. 97.5. Okay. Notice I didn't have to put 6.5 and move my decimal. If you want to practice that, you can practice it up there. If you want to practice that at home, you can practice that. But with this calculator, you don't have to do that. And that's why we have the calculators. So you can go ahead and do that. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at mark.pena@nisd.net. You can also message me. You can message me straight on here. If you did print out something and you wanted to show me your work, you can take a picture from your phone and just send it through here or email it to me. Either way. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you. Have a great day.